Heat exhaustion from the sun. Flowing and stationary water dangers. Poison plants. Insect bites and stings. Mosquitoes. Ticks. Spiders. Snakes. Alligators. Feral hogs. Coyotes. Raccoons. Thunderstorms and lightning. Slips, falls, and strains. Use of hand tools. Pickup truck traffic. And working alone all make up some of the environmental hazards in mining. It is enough to make you want to stay home. But as a miner and/or contractor, you know these hazards come with the territory and they're a part of the work environment. The formula for safely handling these hazards is quite simple. Identify the hazard, figure out how to control or eliminate the hazard, and then perform your job safely.
Welcome to another in our exciting mine safety training video series. Don't be like a lot of miners and assume you somehow just naturally know how to identify environmental hazards. Instead, let's look at the hazards and sharpen your ability to correctly identify and safely work around them.
In your job, working in the sun is a given. Inadequate fluid intake and overexertion in the heat are two of the leading causes of heat stress, or worse, heat stroke. Symptoms include feeling faint or dizzy,
I'm not feeling good.
nausea, heavy sweating, rapid weak heartbeat, low blood pressure, cool, moist, pale skin, heat cramps, headache, fatigue, and dark-colored urine. They're all signs of heat stroke. If heat exhaustion occurs, get the person out of the sun into a shaded and a cooler location. Lay the person down and elevate the legs and feet slightly. Loosen or remove clothing. Get the person to drink cool water and/or a non-alcoholic beverage. Cool the person by spraying or sponging water on the victim. Monitor the person, and if fainting or seizures occur, call 911 immediately. To safely combat heat stress, drink plenty of water prior to and during work. Wear breathable clothing. Take frequent breaks in the shade and rehydrate. Attempt to schedule physically demanding work tasks early in or later in the day when it is cooler. During a workplace examination of your task area, will you have to drive over water-covered or water-flooded roadways? Often, ponding water over roadways may be deeper than you think. Your vehicle may become stuck, could fill with water, and you could drown. Never just drive through ponding water without verifying its depth over a roadway or other area. Moving water over a roadway or other area can be extremely dangerous because it can float your vehicle off the roadway or area, flood your vehicle, and cause you to drown. Never drive a vehicle through moving water over a roadway or other area. Will you be working near streams or rivers that could become swollen from sudden thunderstorms or heavy rains? What travelway or pathway will you take to either use a bridge over the rising streams or rivers, or will you be able to take an alternate route around them? If you're going to have to wade through wetlands, there is a danger of fatigue and possibly drowning. Know your physical limits and work within the limits of your stamina and strength. Finally, if you are working in proximity to any water where there is a danger of drowning, Either be equipped with a full body harness and lifeline attached to a suitable anchor point, or wear the appropriate Coast Guard approved personal flotation device. Avoid the possibility of being struck by lightning. When you see lightning and hear thunder, it may be closer to you than you think. Lightning may travel 20 miles before touching down. After seeing lightning, count the seconds until you hear the thunder and divide the total by 5. If it's 10 seconds until you hear thunder, divide that by 5, and the lightning is only 2 miles away. Don't take refuge under a tree. Don't huddle with others. Don't sit on the ground. Instead, seek shelter in a fully enclosed structure such as a building or your vehicle. Don't take any chances with lightning. In an average year in the United States, there are more deaths from lightning than from hurricanes or tornadoes.
We hope you're getting the picture by now. There are multiple environmental hazards that you must identify and avoid. You need to constantly be identifying and assessing hazards and making solid decisions to protect yourself in the mining environment.
Can you identify and avoid all 3 of these plants? That is, poison ivy, which is a weed-like plant that can grow as a bush, plant, or thick tree-climbing vine. The leaves typically grow 3 leaflets to a stem. In the fall, the leaves may turn red, yellow, or orange. Poison oak may grow as a low plant or a bush, and its leaves resemble oak leaves. Poison sumac may be a bush or a small tree. It has 2 rows of leaflets to a stem. Avoid these plants. However, if you do come into contact with them, redness, itching, swelling, or blisters may occur. Don't scratch or rub the skin. Wash the skin with soap and water. Immediately apply calamine lotion and/or zinc oxide creams. You may also take over-the-counter oral antihistamines. See a doctor at once if you develop a fever, if blisters occur, and the condition becomes widespread over other parts of the body. Your best safeguard is to avoid these plants. Keep an eye out for bees, wasps, red ants, mosquitoes, ticks, and spiders. Bees, wasps, and red ants are going to be encountered in your work environment. Do everything you can to avoid coming into contact with them. If you're accidentally stung or bitten, there is a venom released into the skin. There are simple treatments for a localized reaction, but if a severe allergic reaction occurs, seek immediate medical assistance. A local reaction occurs when only the part of the body near the sting is affected by the pain, redness, and swelling. Scrape or brush off the stinger. Apply a cold pack to the area, and then hydrocortisone cream or calamine lotion. A serious allergic reaction may be indicated by hives, swelling of the mouth or the throat, wheezing, nausea, vomiting, anxiety or chest pain, and even unconsciousness. With any of these symptoms, call 911 and immediately take the victim to the hospital or a doctor for treatment. The black widow spider and the brown recluse spider are potentially the most dangerous to you. They prefer dark, dry places where flies are plentiful. With a bite from either, you can experience chills, fever, nausea and vomiting, and severe abdominal pain. Seek immediate medical help from a doctor or a hospital if you're bitten. Ticks pose a health hazard. Some ticks transmit bacteria that can cause Lyme disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Using tweezers, grasp a tick near the head and remove it. Put it in a jar. Take it with you. Wash the area around the bite with soap and water and seek medical attention for a tick bite. Mosquitoes are plentiful, so wear the appropriate clothing and use mosquito repellent to help protect you from mosquito bites. Cottonmouth water moccasins, diamondback rattlesnakes, pygmy rattlesnakes, timber rattlesnakes, coral snakes, and copperheads are the prevalent snakes found in the southern mining environments. Wear leggings above your boots if you're going to be in snake-infested areas of the mine. Be alert and attempt to avoid any of these venomous snakes and their bite. In the event of snake bite, the venom may either damage the blood and tissue or cause nerve damage. Keep the victim still and calm. Elevate the affected limb slightly above the heart. Do not lacerate the bite area and attempt to suck out the venom. Transport the victim to the hospital immediately for medical attention. Alligators are found in and around water-filled areas primarily because their food chain is located there. They feed on birds, fish, turtles, snakes, and mammals. Mature gators can grow to 11 to 14 feet in size, have a tail that can be used as a weapon, and their jaws have up to 2,200 pounds of force when closed. Even though a gator may be still at rest, they can run with a burst of speed on land, and they can swim vigorously with a tail in the water. Never approach and always avoid alligators, as they can be deadly if they attack you. Feral hogs or wild hogs are becoming a greater danger. It is estimated that Florida has a population of 1 million wild hogs, and Texas has up to 3 million feral hogs. These animals can grow to a size of 300 pounds or larger, and they are a threat to sheep, goats, cattle, chickens, and farm crops. Avoid wild hogs and don't go near them, especially if the female has a brood of young piglets with her. Believe it or not, be on the lookout for raccoons or coyotes that may have rabies. Be alert to erratic behavior of these animals. A rabid raccoon or coyote may be aggressive and foaming at the mouth, or just the opposite. They may act very lethargic and partially paralyzed. Avoid these animals, and if bitten by the animal, treat that situation as if the animal has rabies and seek immediate medical attention for the bite. The bottom line in protecting your safety is to avoid all of these animals to avoid being bitten or harmed. Will it be necessary to use machetes, bush hooks, bank blades, chainsaws, and/or chippers in the area you're going to be working in? Before using any of these tools, inspect them and make sure that they're in the proper working condition. Are the blades sharpened and securely fastened on the machetes, the bush hooks, and the bank blades? On a chainsaw, is the chain loose or correctly attached without excessive play in it? If any of these tools have any defects, then take them out of service immediately. No matter which tool will be required for a task, the person using the tool must be trained in the proper safe use. As a general rule, all of these tools should be used in a method that takes them away from the body rather than toward the body and any of its limbs. Anywhere that you may have to work or any task may have fall or sprain hazards. Now, in particular, if you're in wetlands, forests, open savanna or grasslands, and areas with overgrowth, vines, and or uneven ground, they all pose tripping hazards. Look ahead of where you're going to be walking to. What are the ground conditions like? Is the ground flat, sandy, muddy, filled with water, or uneven, perhaps with swales or depressions? How much overgrowth, such as vines, palmettos, small trees, and or thorns, do you see in your pathway? In any number of pine forests, what does the ground floor under the pines look like? In bedded pine forests, burrows, swales, or ditches covered by duff or thick pine straw can really be a tripping or a fall hazard. When you haphazardly walk through the area where duff or thick pine straw is, it can give way quickly, causing you to slip, trip, fall, and/or sprain or break a body part or a limb. Scope out your surroundings. Look ahead to where you're going to be walking. Know the pathway ahead and avoid falls and sprains. Where will you be working? What vehicle are you going to be using? First of all, a proper pre-trip inspection has got to be performed to identify any safety defects prior to using that equipment. Second, always use a seat belt when the vehicle is in motion. Third, make sure fire extinguishers and first aid kits are available for the equipment. Fourth, what travelways with posted traffic patterns will you be driving on? Fifth, obey all speed limits where applicable, and if off-road, always adjust your speed for the existing conditions. If you must park a vehicle, make certain the vehicle is out of the traffic pattern and off the travelway in a safe position. Sixth, use extra caution if you must travel at night, in foggy conditions, during rain, or other conditions which may reduce visibility. Finally, don't drive if you are truly fatigued. Your reaction time and your vision can be adversely affected by fatigue. Exercise caution and safe operating procedures at all times. Working alone can also create a number of hazards that might not be present when you are working with other miners or contractors. If you're going to be working alone, you need to have wilderness first aid training in addition to basic first aid and CPR training. You need to have a communication plan, an immediate ability to contact your company, the mine property owner, and 911 emergency medical responders. This will require that you've got a cell phone and/or Nextel communication capabilities that work from any and all locations on mine property. You need to have a GPS device, compass, and current accurate mine map for the area or areas that you're going to be working in. Most mine operators are going to require you to sign in and to sign out on a company log sheet to monitor the amount of time that you're on mine property. In your work plan and emergency evacuation plan, you must have all appropriate phone and/or Nextel numbers for your office, the mine operator, and 911 medical emergency responders. As a part of this plan, you need to familiarize yourself with roads, travelways, and pathways to and from your work area. If you're going to be working alone and you have any questions for the mine operator or employees, be sure to have them answered before you proceed to your work area.
We've covered a lot of ground today when it comes to environmental hazards in mining. We encourage you to think, plan ahead, identify and control or eliminate those hazards. Remember, your safety and well-being depend on your planning and actions. Until our next exciting mine safety training video, work safe.
During the making of this video, the operators of various mines have allowed the staging or the recreation of certain conditions which may at first appear to be unsafe and not according to certain federal, state, and/or company safety procedures. These scenes were created strictly to demonstrate the differences between correct and incorrect safety and work procedures in the mining environment. At times, incorrect procedures may have been intentionally left in the video sequences to allow mine safety instructors to ask, What's wrong with this picture? The conditions and stage scenes are in no way a true reflection of the condition or the operation of the mine shown in this video production. Finally, this video must be augmented by new MSHA rules and regulations that may be implemented at any time, in addition to changes in your company's safety rules and regulations that may be put into practice. This video training program does not purport to cover all federal, state, and/or your company's safety rules and regulations on the topics covered. For answers to any questions that you may have, consult with your supervisor or your company's safety manager at once.